Everybody, it is confirmed. We're breeding not only one horse, but 2 horses this year. We need to find a dressage stallion, and we have to find a jumper. And it better be one of the best in the world. We're on the hunt, let's go. Tell me which ones you like, but we're doing it. 2 babies, fingers crossed. This is gonna be an emotional journey. I've done this before. Patriot and Maverick both have crowns, and we're gonna see if we can do it again. This is gonna be a 3-year journey, so let's get started. If you're gonna breed, you better do it responsible and to improve. So first up, we have Maverick, my gorgeous 5-year-old mare. Right now, she's 2nd in the country for 5-year-olds under saddle. And most importantly, I want to find a dressage stallion that can match her. I don't want a stallion that's going to weaken her gaits. You know how powerful her movement is and her conformation. She's perfect in my eyes. So I've narrowed it down to 3 stallions, starting with Glamourdale. He is on top of the dressage standings right now. He's exceptional, and he won the individual and team's bronze Olympics. His stud fee is $1,900 per straw or $3,600 per season. Let's see him go. Okay, he's gorgeous in every way, right? But there is this YouTuber that I really respect. Her channel is called Science of Raising Horses, and she said something that got my attention.
Clearly an exceptionally gifted athlete, carefully prepared and presented. But as a 14-year-old approved stallion with well over 1,400 offspring, what can we say about him and his quality as a sire? Does his glamour in the ring matches what he produces for the next generation? When it comes to breeding stallion, they generally fall into 2 main categories. Those that stamp and those that don't. They consistently pass a certain trait very specifically.
You have to listen to the professionals and whatever they specialize in. That's always been my life philosophy. So to summarize this professional YouTuber's opinion, Glamourdale is a very valuable competition stallion. But we have to look at all the stallions to find out which stallions produce the most desirable foals. Essentially, she's saying that just because a stallion is pure magic doesn't mean that's going to be passed on, and you have to consider multiple different stallions. So we're considering 3, but I just love him. I'm going to do some research on the foals he's producing. If anyone has any experience or knows about them, let me know. Guys, just to pause for 1 second. So Glamourdale, he is still my favorite horse under saddle competition stallion. I'm sure he produces extremely gorgeous, correct foals. But again, based upon this YouTuber's opinion, I do value professionals. We have to compare him to multiple different stallions to determine which one is best for Maverick. Next up for consideration is Zonik Plus. If you notice, he has a completely different way of going than Glamourdale. He has like a straight leg reach. His shoulder opens and the entire foreleg reaches forward, as opposed to Glamourdale, which had higher knee action that folds and lifts the knee upward. So Glamourdale had more of a rounder look that's more elevated, as opposed to Zonik, where the knee folds less and it's more straighter. Which type of knee action do you prefer? The high knee action like Glamourdale, or more of that straight leg reach like Zonik Plus? Let me know. And of course, to get more information on Zonik Plus for breeding, I went to that YouTuber's page, which is called The Science of Raising Horses, because I find her analysis to be extremely practical and science-based. And this is what she said about Zonik.
While checking for the basic, as a breeder, we also look to find out if he's offered for breeding at all. I mean, is he available? And if so, is he fertile? Well, now for those in a rush to consider breeding to him with stars in their eyes, we really have very little information in terms of what he produces at this point. So I can't tell you what he passes on. No one knows. Finally, keep in mind that he is a WFFS carrier, just like his sire. Not a big deal for most breeder as long as the mare has been tested as negative, and it can be a complete showstopper for others. So it is what it is, and to each, your own.
So given what we know, he's a competition powerhouse, he's proven, but we don't know if he's a foal maker. We don't know if the offspring will be as good as him or what he passes down, so we need to keep searching. Zonik Plus, love him. That knee action is completely different. You know how it's like more straight as opposed to like bent at the knee? It's just a different way of going. But again, he's still young. He hasn't produced that many foals, and it would be more of a risk going with him. And I just found the perfect stallion that I'm obsessed with. His name is called Fynch Hatton. Joy is obsessed with him too. I'm going to show you him now. I think it would be a great pairing, so let me know what you think. But again, I love Glamourdale, his rider. I love Zonik Plus. I just have to be very intentional about this. I haven't bred a horse in 4 years. This is a big deal for me, and I want to be intentional, and you have to position yourself in the best position possible to get the best horse, because if we're breeding, it needs to be the best. It needs to be something that if something was to happen to me, somebody else would want this horse. And this is ultimately going to be a sales horse. It will be like a 5-year journey, of course, but you have to be intentional about this. I'm not backyard breeding or breeding in a large volume. I've done it once 4 years ago, and now 4 years later. Isn't that right, Patriot? And Patriot is rated #1 in the Young Horse Show in our regional at the qualifiers, and it has to be intentional. It can't just be, oh, this horse is pretty, this one has good colors. It has to be the entire package. Everybody, this is Fynch Hatton. He's a 2019 Oldenburg. In 2020, he won the Oldenburg Championship. He got a 10 on his trot, a 9.5 on his canter, a 9.5 on rideability. His conformation was a 9, and his walk was an 8.5. This is what I'm talking about.
Top modern horse. He won almost everything so far. I think, again, here we see a horse which has everything. He has the power, the strong top line here. He's really strong. You can feel it when you sit on him. You can take the horse back, and he always stays with the back up. He has a fantastic canter with the right uphill tendency that you want. I think if you also just look at him here, it's like a painting. I mean, you cannot make it nicer than this, I think. I would love to see a lot of top horses, top mares to this stallion. If you can say something, it's important that he is a little bit straight here when he's standing in the hind leg, that the mares have not totally standing out, but have a little bit underneath. But that's the only thing I would say about this one here. He's perfect, yeah, in everything.
I'm speechless. Just look at that tremendous power he has from his hindquarters. And the suspension in his trot is unreal. He has so much balance, carrying more weight from behind than just riding on the forehand. And his self-carriage is natural, the rhythm, his posture. He's a dream. And his foals are gaining a lot of attention because Fynch Hatton is passing on those recognizable, modern, elegant, flashy big movements. And the foals are selling for top prices at the European horse auctions.
And this horse has so much energy in a positive way. And I'm sitting there, I have no whip, I have nothing, I just take him back and he really comes up. Make him stronger. Unbelievable here, super. The canter, it's as good as the trot. I also think I could give a 10 here. He also get at the Bundeschampionat a 10 for his canter and his rideability.
I think Fynch Hatton is going to be the perfect stallion for Maverick. I did order 1 dosage of the semen for 1,375, I think it was. And then I also got an extra straw just in case it doesn't happen. So we have 1 dosage plus 1 straw. So now we're going to move on to finding a jumper stallion. And before we tell you who it is, so I had my general vet and also select breeders, the equine reproduction specialist, veterinarian, go over Patriot to see if she would be ready to have a baby at 4. And they said that she is developed physically. She's almost 17 hands. She's deep chested. She's bigger than both her parents. And at 4 would be a good age for her to have a baby so she can start her riding competitions, like really into saddle at 4 and 5 years old. But taken in comparison to Drakina is also will be turning 4, and she's just not as developed as Patriot is by any means. Frisians take longer to get developed, so not that I'm going to breed Drakina. That's not my goal. I'm not doing that, but I wouldn't breed her until like 6, if that makes sense, because she's just not as developed as Patriot. Patriot is very mature, and I have that approval. So we're gonna find a stallion for Patriot. There's 3 stallions that I have in mind. Let me know what you think. The first stallion that we are considering is Chacco-Blue II. He's a legendary Grand Prix jumper stallion, and mechanically he produces a tremendous amount of power from behind. However, we already have that feature from Javelin. She stamped it to Patriot, and that's what they're both known for, hind end power. He's a large stallion, capable of jumping enormous fences, which we want for a jumper horse, having that scope and capability, but also, so he's proven in the show ring, and his offspring are also beginning to prove that they can pass these qualities forward. So he is stamping down those genetics, and that's exactly why we are considering him. But Patriot's already huge. I don't know if you want to add more size or refine her down. So there's other stallions that we have to consider. Another exciting horse that I have my eyes on is a stallion called Capilot, and he competed in the meter 5 division, high jumpers, so he has that scope, and he also has like this beautiful hunter type movement. And at the Young Horse Show, I noticed that there were a lot of foals that were scoring exceptionally high that were bred by him. The issue is that he is closely related to Patriot and Javelin already. Javelin and Patriot both have that like really high suspension movement for a jumper horse, but I do really like that movement. So they're not like a dressage horse, but they have that suspension in the movement. It's just really pretty to watch. You can see here how Patriot's doing it, but this is the horse that I was considering, but again, it's just too closely related to Patriot. Oh my gosh, I just found the perfect freaking stallion. Yeah, and I know, they say perfect doesn't exist. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, your favorite YouTuber is not perfect, nothing's perfect. But this stallion is perfect. His name is called Ermitage Kalone, and I asked Joy about him, I asked Ashley about him, the person I bought Maverick from, she has top horses, and I asked her about him. Everybody's like first or second choice was Ermitage Kalone, and apparently you can only breed to him if it's under ICSI. It's called ICSI. It's this whole like breeding under, it's called ICSI. It's a certain type of breeding method. We're gonna go over that later, but I'm gonna call the guy to find out if you can breed under regular methods for frozen semen and see how it goes. It's not gonna be cheap, but I'd rather spend double the price and get one of the top stallions in the world than try to budget on semen and get something that is not going to perform or shouldn't be bred. So Ermitage Kalone, just let me know what you think. I think him and Patriot are going to be unstoppable. The foal will be, and he will dominate. Baby will dominate the horse shows. We gotta contact the breeder and just see if we can make this happen. Again, it's not cheap, but it's worth it if we can make this happen. He's an Olympian. Not only is he extremely powerful, unlimited scope, but the way he moves, like he has a naturally tall head carriage, and his movement is almost like dressage-like, which is kind of unheard of for the top level jumpers. Like, just look at his movement, and I do love that pretty, flashy suspension movement. I just hope this works out, and this is Ermitage Kalone. Let me know what you think, but he's our man, and this is the one that we are choosing. Nothing in life's perfect, but he's freaking perfect. Let me know what you guys think. His name is Ermitage Kalone. Whoa.
So big over those first few fences. Just started to settle a little bit now.
Okay, let's pause for 1 second. Because when horses are bred with this much scope, I only find it enjoyable to watch when they make it look effortless. When you have seen Javelin or Patriot jump, they are miles over the fence. It almost looks like they're flying, and that's exactly what I see in Ermitage. When a horse is hitting the jumps or is visibly struggling, it's just obviously clear. I find it difficult to watch. I can't even watch it. But with Ermitage, you're watching pure natural power, and that's the same with Patriot and Javelin. They are just flying over it. And just to be clear, I have no intention of ever jumping at this level, but I do like my horses to have that natural scope and power. And then if we're jumping half that big and they have double the scope, then I feel that it's okay to jump and it's responsible. Obviously, jumping that high would take a toll on most horses, and I don't intend Patriot, Javelin, or the foal to jump that big, but again, I want to have that in the tank. For example, here's Ermitage Kalone as a 3-year-old during a stallion competition approval presentation. He's being free jumped with no rider, and here he's already showing enormous bascule, explosive hind end power, and that effortless clearance eventually became his trademark. And that's what natural ability is all about. This stallion has been dominating all across Europe, and his foals are in the highest demands at the auctions. But there aren't too many of him in the US right now, so this makes it an exciting opportunity for us. Let me know in the comments if you think we got the pairing right, Maverick and Fynch Hatton, and Patriot and Ermitage. Next video, we have a bunch of pregnancy tests coming up. I changed my mind on so many things coming up, and I'm just trying to figure out the best solution. I had to be flexible and adaptive, and it's a roller coaster. Get ready for part 2.